If you've been feeling like you're not quite yourself anymore, and the part of you that used to feel creative just feels distant or quiet, I want to talk about that today. When this feeling goes on for a while, it's not just that you're not creating. It starts to affect how you feel about yourself, how you connect with others, and even about life in general. You might feel disconnected or a little flat. Maybe you don't feel joy anymore. And maybe you just feel like something really important to you is missing, but you can't quite name it, or you don't know how to even get it back. Before we dive into today's conversation, I'd just like to say hello and welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Janet, architect turned creative renewal coach and watercolor artist. I founded Blueprint to Brushstrokes to support mid and late career creatives who feel burned out, emotionally depleted, and disconnected from their creative work. But more than that, I'm really trying to create a space where thoughtful, sensitive people can reconnect with themselves and express their creativity without fear or judgment. And that's also why I share my reflections, prompts, and creative practices through my newsletter and blogs. Some of these conversations need a little more space and privacy than a YouTube video allows. And those have become quieter, more personal places to continue the conversation. I went through a prolonged period like this myself. After a stretch of burnout, I realized I couldn't access my creativity in the way that I used to. And what surprised me was it wasn't something I could fix by just trying harder. Most of us try to solve this in the same ways. We tell ourselves, I just need to be more consistent. I just need to be more disciplined. I need to get back into routine. But when you're already feeling disconnected, that kind of approach usually just makes it feel heavier and even harder to show up, not lighter and not easier to begin. What I've come to understand is this. This usually isn't about discipline. It's about disconnection. And when creativity feels different, it's often not because it's gone. It's because something in you hasn't felt safe enough or supported enough to express itself. And that's a very different problem than most of us think we're solving. Because if the problem is disconnection, then pushing harder isn't the answer. Understanding what created the disconnection matters far more. So, instead of trying to get back to where you were, a gentler place to begin is this. Set aside just 10 minutes and don't try to make anything perfect. Don't try to finish anything. Just be in the process. That might look like sketching an object in front of you, doing a quick playful wash with 2 or 3 colors, and once it's dried, sketch over whatever shapes or objects you see on the page. Fill a page in a sketchbook with doodles and shapes, or even just dust off your old materials and clean things up. The point isn't output. It's creating a space that feels safe enough to start. A space to feel authentic, creative joy again. That's one of the reasons I created my Creative Confidence Reflection Guide. Sometimes the first step isn't learning a new technique or creating more. It's understanding what's actually going on beneath the surface so you can reconnect with yourself before trying to push forward again. I recently had someone share that after starting in this way with just a few minutes and no pressure or expectations, they found themselves returning to their studio again, and then again, and then again, until they were creating consistently. Not because they were forcing it, but because it started to feel natural again. They weren't rebuilding productivity. They were rebuilding trust and safety. If you don't feel like yourself right now, it doesn't mean your creativity is gone. It usually means that something inside you just hasn't felt safe enough to come forward yet. If today's conversation resonated with you, you'll find links below to some of the resources that I mentioned, including the Creative Confidence Reflection Guide, my newsletter, and other ways to continue exploring this work. And if you're looking for more personalized support, I do offer one-on-one coaching to help people reconnect with their creativity in a way that feels sustainable and aligned with their life. I'd love to support you if that feels like the right next step for you. The takeaway is this: creativity isn't something you lose, it's something that can become quieter when life, burnout, expectations, or disconnection make it difficult to access. And often the way back isn't through pressure, it's through creating enough safety, space, and support for it to return. If this resonated, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever gone through a season where you felt disconnected from your creativity? Until next time, wishing you a gentle, creative, grace-filled day. And I'll see you in the next video.